Hi, this is Liz with HYTCHED Communication, and today I'm going to be talking about effective presentations. I love starting off with this slide because of Satan and talking about the 666 PowerPoint slides that he has to cover, and it literally can feel like you're in hell if you're stuck in one of these types of presentations. We've all been there. You're in a presentation where you're kind of bored to tears. You're not even trying to not pay attention to the speaker, but he's so boring and the presentation is so not engaging and uninteresting that you can't even force yourself to pay attention. You're thinking about your dinner plans later that day, or what your kid said to you in the morning, whatever it is. And this is really something that can be catastrophic to a lot of businesses. If they can't get their message across and the value proposition across in the form of a good story, they're really going to lose their audience and likely lose out on a lot of money in business deals or funding that they didn't secure. So I actually went ahead and I found an actual investor presentation on the internet. This is from a company called Tech Data. And their CEO presented this a couple of months ago at a conference. So this is a financial slide. This is very standard at an investor conference. And this slide is actually pretty good. There's not too much going on. It's very matter of fact. I like this slide. And then there are a few more financial and number slides, which I didn't bother to include in this presentation just because they weren't really relevant. So then I go into the story. So they talk about that they're acquiring a technology solutions company. Great. And that's going to create a premier global IT distributor with the most diverse end-to-end solutions from the data center to the living room. And they have all of their different types of products. Okay. The next slide talks about third platform technologies driving IT spending growth. And it's talking about the increases in CAGR. This is all great and good. Good information, deepens value-added capabilities, and balances product portfolio. I like their use of the 26 billion growing to 35 billion. There's a little bit too much going on, but it's okay. Extends the geographic reach. Great. I know that they're a multinational company. Then they talk about their complementary product portfolio across vendors, broadened customer base. There's a little too much going on for my liking on this slide. This slide serves as a summary slide, but there's too much information. The speaker is probably going to spend at least 5 to 10 minutes talking about all these different things while everyone's staring at this one slide, and that just seems extremely, extremely boring. And then their last slide says, the global IT distributor of the future from the data center to the living room. I know that they're a global IT distributor, but I really don't know much else about their product or the value. I know that they're strong financially, which is great. But otherwise, I don't really know what their story is. So I went ahead and put together a few slides that I think really represents what their story should be. We live in an increasingly interconnected world, driving the need for better technology faster. Tech Data delivers all types of technology from its conception to the warehouse or data center, and directly into the consumer's hand. Enabled through the premier and most diverse IT distribution in the world. Now, if you see what I did here, I took what the company actually does, and then I used visuals to support that. So you can literally see the warehouse, and you can imagine then looking at the phone in the person's hand, like, oh yeah, it went from the warehouse, and that person, they bought it, and now they're using it, and that's how the consumer, the end user, is actually being connected by this company. That's a great example. So the use of visuals and a compelling story using the right messaging can really make a difference in engaging your audience and making them really understand what your product does. And the second important thing, aside from the story, is delivering the story with confidence. So our goal is to be like this guy. If you look at him, he looks extremely happy, extremely confident. The guy is so excited to be up there that he's practically dancing in front of the audience, just showing his presentation. It is super important to be passionate about your product, to show the audience how excited you are. You can't expect someone to be excited about your product if you're not excited about it. And so our ultimate goal is to have our audience look more like this and less like this. Now, there are 3 things that I see time and time again, and I like to call these the big offenders. Number 1, using too many words and or overcomplicating things. I don't know if people use too many words or use big words because they're trying to impress their audience or trying to put in too much detail, but it doesn't work. You really need to keep it simple. And that goes into number two. Using too many words and overcomplicating it starts to make it boring. It's not that engaging. You need to keep your story simple, and you need to make sure that your story is compelling to engage the audience. And of course, you need to deliver the presentation with passion. Once again, if you're not excited about your business, then how can you expect other people to be excited about it? It's a no-brainer. And this, unfortunately, is costing businesses millions of dollars. And most of the time, they don't even know that it was because their presentation just sucked so badly. It's the truth. So here's our ultimate goal. We want a handshake at the end of the presentation. We want a deal being struck. We want the audience to say, hey, you know what? This is really interesting. I think this is a great story. I think this is compelling. I think that I can see a future with this company. So if you enjoyed this presentation and think that we can help you with your presentations, please complete the form below. We'll schedule a free phone consultation, talk about your projects, talk about your company. We can help you create the story. We can help you create a compelling presentation. We can help you coach through the delivery. It's super important, all of these three items, when you're trying to get new clients, trying to secure funding, and even different situations. It really, there's no limit as to where a good presentation can take you. So thanks for watching, and we hope to hear from you shortly.